Right, hello. The eight laws of anxiety. REVOT8, and the final video in the mini-series of REVOT8, the 8th law of anxiety. The 8th law of anxiety: you must always promote anxiety as virtuous. So what does that mean? That means, right off the bat, that's why a lot of criminals will automatically respect the rights of other criminals, because they know that the genesis of criminality is in an anxiety, and that's why they instinctively, they won't talk to anyone, and this kind of thing, this law, the 8th law of anxiety, really, this is the code of silence. Okay, this is the code of silence. Actually, this also facilitates why society is actually a great many groups of people, and they have their own different language. They use language differently, and this is why people in these groups don't often talk to people outside of these groups. Okay, so the only people that really don't give a shit are actually the middle class, the working class, right? The blue collar, because anyone that rolls with consciousness and courage, we're not political. We're not political, right? Okay, and so this is the icing on the cake. When you take the 7th law, you must disrupt and maintain an ongoing disruption to they that seek to challenge the laws of anxiety. Well, that's what you have to do if you must always promote anxiety as virtuous. And so this is the thing. This is why the 8 laws is an algorithm. They're all omnipresent in different measures, considering the situation. And so this is why people, always promoting anxiety as virtuous. Okay, so let's go back to the first 2 laws. So the first 2 laws give birth to the 8 laws, right? In fact, the instance of the first law of anxiety actually kicks all of this off, because it's not only anxiety; it's still the values of consciousness exist, because that's what anxiety is using as its vehicle. It's hijacked consciousness, right? And so this is why this is an algorithm, and it's like, all of the laws impact on all of the laws all of the time. And and this is the nature of consciousness. This is the character of consciousness, because consciousness can perceive extremely detailed nuances, and so it can see all sides at the same time. No. And that's how anxiety is applied to the mind. That's why it seems like anxiety seems to confront us from all angles. And that's why, as anxiety is replicated, the function of anxiety is replicated in the macro, extrapolated out into the macro, an exact copy. This is why the state seemingly need, they have this control thing from all sides, because the government thing, they're so respectful of the money, and absolutely the money thing, the banking system, and how it has influenced social policy has absolutely, it's all encompassing, man, all encompassing. And it's even more than that. It's overtly exercising its control by merely creating legislative features that have the express purpose of proving that they have control, right? And there's a lot of regulations in New Zealand, and like the event of anxiety in the mind, the more regulations there are, the further the distance between the government and the public are. And if the government are secretly representing the banking system, well, then that puts the banking system, it minimises the risk of anyone challenging the control. Okay, and this is replicating the function of anxiety. And so the eighth law of anxiety is you must always promote anxiety as virtuous. Okay, so that's where you get your young people out in the street. They'll pick their victim and then they'll go and make them the enemy, and then they'll go and attack them. And that's exactly what religion does. That's what religion does when it invented Satan. Okay, anyone who shows they have free mind and free will, and they're an intelligent person and they're making their own decisions, religion can call them a Satanist for that. And so that's the thing. You must always promote anxiety as virtuous. So this is really down to the code of silence. The code of silence and the theatre that they are using to make it look like they're important. While this code of silence is in force. And in my case, I call it the aversion to communicate. You know, these people that are always promoting anxiety as virtuous have an aversion to communicate. And they use that to stop people coming into their environment. So I've put my foot on it many times in many job interviews. Many times, man, if I don't say the right things, which show I've got respect for anxiety, okay, that black flag, man, black flagged. And so, so the eighth law, you must always promote anxiety as virtuous. That automatically creates red flags, things they use to know what's coming over the horizon. And this is so well, known, actually, by both sides. It's so well known. And so our social mores are largely out of respect of this and relate to this, right? That no one really notices anymore. So there you go. That's always, promoting anxiety as virtuous. And one last thing is here: why the courts go lenient on wealthy people.